And real quick,
Okay, so the
I
road.
just threw up an
Okay.
image of Warlord on his bike. It should be in the display and everything. And yeah, so saw blades for shoulder armor, crazy looking bike with all sorts of spikes and stuff. Definitely something that you would wear when you're more established and you can afford to
Yeah.
scare the hell out of people.
Yeah, and on that note, same with my more merchant style armor. It's impractical if I were ever to try to get in a firefight because I don't have. Well, not necessarily impractical. I more keep shop stuff on it, like spare caps, odds ends, goodies,
Hmm.
pen and pen and paper. But that would be more something I'm kind of stationary. I'm not really having to worry about like getting shot at. I mean, I have my gun on me, but oh, I guess that's another kind of branching conversation. So I mean, everyone's like, oh, what armor?
Yeah.
It's like for new people. I get that question a lot. Someone's like, oh, what kind of armor should I get? It's like it depends on a couple things. It depends on what gun do you have? What gun are you actually running? If you just have pistols, you really don't have to worry too much. But if you're running like a rifle, if you're running like a sniper rifle,
Yeah.
it's gonna factor in what you have. And also more importantly, what's your role? Is your role a scavenger? So we're a scavenger, you want a lot of pockets, you want to be able to pick up stuff, you want to be able to break in and disassemble stuff.
Yep.
Is it more of a quote unquote soldier? So you're more kind of loaded for bear, ready, more for getting into a firefight. Are you a merchant? Do you not? For me, I don't want to put on an intimidating look because I want people to come and talk to me. So I
Yeah.
kind of have to do the opposite of Warlord. I love Warlord's armor, but I have to make mine softer so people are more approachable. I have to put a lot of color into it.
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna throw up one of your Fall of Man, or what you wore at Fall of Man.
Oh yeah, that was yeah, more
Yeah.
kind of lightweight stuff.
So yeah,
Um,
it's like a almost like a reptile skinned uh vest over a t-shirt. But I think you also had
oh
a
yeah,
chest a small chest rig as well. Hold on one second.
yeah.
You keep going.
So again, it kind of depends on what you're doing, where you're going. If you're loaded for like, all right, I'm gonna go on patrol, or I'm gonna go try to go in this building and take what I can. So that also factors into it. And I know a big armor maker is Nuclear Snap. He does a lot of stuff, and he actually had a really cool point of like an idea if you just throw out like an adjective and then like a noun. Or I'm trying to get how he did it. It was something where it's like light, medium, heavy, and then like raider, merchant, soldier, uh, farmer. Just kind of like a job description. So you kind of go with that one. So along with what's your job, what's your role, what's the other biggest factor I'd say is what's your environment, because both actually most of the people that we play with have two sets of armor because we play during the summer and we play during the winter. And if you're mobile and hostile, you want to make sure that your armor isn't going to get in the way. We haven't been to any events where we're like climbing up and down windows, shuffling through. There's a couple tight buildings, but you you don't want to make sure you're getting caught on stuff. So if you're and you also make sure either you're warm enough for the event, or you're able to able to cool off. So because there's been a couple heat casualties from a certain someone that we know for the summer event. That's why hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I'd say before you build any sort of kit or armor that you're working on, have a way or know what you're going to do for your water situation, because
Okay. Sorry about
including the
that.
way you're good, including the wasteland, you're going to be dead in 3 days without water, and you're going to be hurting after day two.
Yeah, you gotta have water. That's
But
honestly that's
I was
part of the
saying
reason
part
why I try to have a hydro pouch in almost all of my kits because water is that important. Even if
yeah.
you're near an area where water is, you just gotta be careful.
Yeah, I don't know how much you caught of it, but I was saying as far as we have multiple sets of armor for the situation.
Yeah.
So say it is the apocalypse, I would probably have a set of armor for scavenging, which would just be a backpack, a lot of pockets, and something that's very lightweight, so I can get in and get out, and also probably a tool belt. So a specific pouch dedicated to lock picks, screwdrivers, like tools that
Mm-hmm.
can disassemble something or break into like a lock.
Yeah,
It
stuff
also
like carabiners and whatnot are definitely a big help
oh
for stuff like
carabiners,
that.
love carabiners.
I
I'd
think
say add a carabiner into your kits. It's great. You can put a water. You can attach an Nalgene bottle to it. You can attach gloves. You can
yeah,
attach like loot you find.
you can actually
Um,
see a bit of it on the background image of the one on my vest. It's an
oh
orange
yeah.
one. The belt buckle's kind of
So
blocking it, but
yeah. Oh, so I'd have a scavenger outfit. I'd have probably a merchant style one where it would give me some. It would be it'd be like more like a billboard than anything. It would be an advertisement. It would still give me some. I would try to have it because I'm stationary. I'm not really moving around too much, so maybe some ballistic protection in case a robber, assuming I don't have like security or whatever, but I still want to be protected.
yeah.
Be able to access a firearm of some sorts and have water. And I probably have one for like, okay, I'm guarding something. I want to make sure I'm able to have a bunch of magazine pouches, be able to have some utility pouches if I need to carry a book,
Mm-hmm.
some water, stuff like that, and I don't know, probably like a raiding kit
Like,
if I know I'm going on the attack.
in
Have
all
something that's
honesty,
bulletproof.
because of our particular way of interacting with Wastelanders, we generally don't have to carry much in the way of like mags because we tend to
Yeah,
talk
I
people down as opposed to starting crap.
yeah, most people are pretty chill with us. I can't remember the last big firefight that we had. I think it was like Fertile 4 or 5. The
Yeah.
last Rev one was like Rev I think like 8 or 9, we had a pretty big firefight. But we all because we're again, it's and then we can factor that. That's more of a conversation of how you interact with people, not necessarily armor.
Mm-hmm.
But it factors in. It factors into what job you want. If you want to be Mr. Aggro and be Mr. Raider, you want to be an asshole, then yeah, you can do that. But it has consequences.
Yeah.
People may not like you. People might not like what you do.
No.
Um,
I
but
just
yeah, for
found an
our
image of you before you took off the rest of the armor or changed armors. Um, you've
I'm
got
trying to see
the
how I could
license
view
plate.
that. Oh, I guess that speaking of license plates, it kind of brings into crafting materials.
Yeah.
So as far as crafting materials, again, it matters what you have access to, what your skill set is, what you can actually work with. So the classic wasteland armor, what you always see is license plates.
Yeah,
Now
which
I
I
get why.
have used as shoulder pads
Yeah,
in the past.
it,
It
it
is
definitely
in
gives a
no
way.
way at all a practical armor. If you
No,
are going to use this thing in real life, you're probably going to die. This stuff is not going to protect you from bullets.
the only thing it'll probably protect you from is slashes, but if you get unless it's stacked license plate, a knife will go through it.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be careful, and that's why what you work with. Because I think it was not profit. It was one of our group members I was talking to about using scrap rubber. Because I mean that would be something that's very common you can access to, and he says it would. It gives you some, depending on the tire, some ballistic protection, not a lot, because a
Hmm.
lot of a lot of rifle rounds go through that. But the problem he said is during the summer it is so heavy.
Oh yeah.
So I think for rubber, it depends. I think from what I've seen some good armor where they use it, they bolt it on as shin guards.
Yeah.
Like that would be probably pretty good. That would give you some
Well,
good protection.
so Warlord, it looks like he has some of it implemented into his armor,
I think
the
he
the
used
war
bicycle
armor.
tires
Yeah.
because bicycle tires do steel band like car tires. So bicycle tires are a lot easier to work with. They're a lot easier to cut through.
Hmm.
With tires, you have to have a saw or a really good saw. Otherwise, if you have to hand saw that, it's going to take forever.
Oh yeah.
Like so, other materials you can work with that are pretty easy to find. I would say leather,
Which
like
I
regular
have
clothing.
actually been working on. I've been
Yeah,
working on a pair of my own custom leather gauntlets. Well, not gauntlets, but like
yeah.
bracers. I had a little
Leather
help
isn't
from
too
Scotty on that.
uncommon. Leather you can find. I know you can find knockoff leather, but if you can find legitimate leather, It doesn't give you a whole lot of protection against bullets and stabbing, whatever. But what it does give is environment.
I'm gonna mute
It
myself for a
will
sec.
help you stay. It will help you retain some heat, from what I remember. And they're pretty durable, from what like actual leather is pretty durable. Like it can take scuffs and stuff like that. And again, not you don't always have to focus on, oh, I need to be able to be bulletproof.
Yeah,
Probably the most of it on the day and day basis, you want to be able to protect yourself from the elements.
yeah,
If you've ever gotten just soaked through the bone, if you've ever been just bitterly cold or blazingly hot, it sucks. And now factoring that into, okay, it's the apocalypse, like that's what I would focus on is more. You still want to, if you can, be able to protect yourself from guns, knives, and whatever. But you
hmm
want to probably mainly focus on protecting yourself from the elements. So back into kind of the events we do, it unfortunately rains a lot.
yeah, yeah. It
So
does tend to
having a
rain like almost every time we go to one of these events.